With the cowboy fit. It is going to be a very busy day. I am going to eat a sandwich as breakfast. I've already dropped my baby off at daycare after getting him dressed and packing his lunch. I'm going to eat the sandwich. I am going to potentially buy a watch. I'm going to go meet a guy and buy a watch, and then potentially film watch content. And then I'm going to go do a podcast and a skit at the Creators Inc. house. And then I'm going to pick up the baby and bring him to a playground. And then I'm going to go to a Young Gravy party, it seems. So the rapper Young Gravy. So yeah, so that is how my day is starting. I have about maybe 35 minutes to kill on this live stream while I wait for my sandwich. I wanted to say hello and do more live streaming because live streaming is easy and I can talk for a while without being prompted. So yeah, so this is the cowboy fit. You know, I'll get it more professional when I go out tonight. But if they're doing like a country themed thing, thank you. If they're doing a country themed thing, I'm going to participate. So the glasses are Gentle Monsters. So it's an Al Pastor banh mi. So this place called Local. I should probably show their sign. It's Lokal. The sign, it's not easy to see from here, but they do like silly experimental banh mi's. So yeah, Al Pastor banh mi. That sounds great. All their sandwiches look really good. You want to talk Mr. Beast, huh? Is Mr. Beast profiting off the homeless unjustly? Well, the recent Beast games have been interesting. The news coming out about it is very scary and very telling as to what happens when someone has too much money and power. Oh, I'm wearing an Issey Miyake watch today. So with the Beast games getting more and more sort of scrutiny, I feel like something's going to happen in Mr. Beast camp pretty quick. I might make fun of it. I might make fun of it today. I think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to do a skit where, where I address this because, as usual, people are saying that he, is abusing his subjects. And of course, his fans come in and say, well, he helps people. But they don't have, they don't have anything to do with one another. That's the problem. That's what you're not understanding. You can feed a homeless person and still be a bad dude. If I do a charitable work and then I go break someone's legs, the two situations are not related. That's the problem. Yeah, I'm eating banh mi. Al Pastor banh mi. It's quite good. It's a good sandwich. Yeah, the kindness channels are real. I mean, it's so embarrassing that they do it for real. These horrible garbage scenarios. Haven't heard about a YouTube banning for no reason. Here's the thing. If you're a bad person, you're gonna wave nice things in everybody's face so that they excuse you when you finally get busted doing the bad stuff. Oh, you hated my channel before I started making fun of TikTok? That's fine. I guess you came around. Thanks. Yeah. Let me spell it out for you. The kindness creators have no talent. So they need strangers to be the subjects. But they don't have the charisma or the ability to talk strangers into acting. So they film them without their permission. That's the answer. That's the equation. They need an excuse to film people without permission, and they can just do it over and over all day, and they can outproduce, a guy like me who scripts stuff out. Okay. You're saying the people appreciate it. But what about the ones that don't? You don't see the ones that don't wind up on the final edit. You don't see the people who are like, hey, why are you filming me? F you. You don't see the homeless guy who sees the video, have 1 million views, and is mad now. Got 1 million people saw him begging on the street. Don't you get it? The kindness influencers control the whole narrative. So of course they're not going to show you when it goes bad. Whether they do more bad than good in one day is irrelevant. We're talking over the course of time, the ethics they express are bad. And you're distracted. You're distracted by the money giveaways. You're distracted by like the sob stories. The sob stories are made to screw you over. There's no expectation of privacy in public. Also, extremely stupid. When people talk about no expectation of privacy in public, that has nothing to do with an influencer running up on you with a camera, making you look like a jackass. Like, we all understand. Hang on, ambulance. Watch check. Here we go. Issei Miyake to. We all understand there's no expectation of privacy in public. Like, that's fine. I never talk about the legalities. I talk about whether or not you're a nice person or a huge jerk for running up on someone with a camera and forcing them to be a part of a narrative. Whether it's legal or not, it's just, that's not part of the definition. Like, adultery is legal in a lot of states. That doesn't make it good. That doesn't make you a good person. I'm not sure which states, but like I'm pretty sure adultery is like legal in California. So if you sleep with someone other than your spouse and someone's yelling at you, how would you, could somebody run up and be like, oh, well, you shouldn't be mad. Actually, adultery is legal. The whole privacy thing, that's not what I talk about. I don't talk about the legality. Okay, that's another problem. You're like, oh, kindness influencers encourage other people to do the same, encourage other people to help. Not true. They encourage other people to exploit other people for the camera. That's my point. You know how many of these guys fake their scenarios, trick the audience, give away less money than they say they do, lie to you, all because you accept this feel-good narrative? Come on, don't be a silly. I'm eating too slow because I'm trying to make a conversation. That's the whole like, oh, it inspires others to do the same. Dude, so many of these kids are rolling out with cameras, exploiting people. Those are the ones being inspired. And I don't understand how anyone can sort of like keep falling back on the same illogical moral defenses. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Let's talk. We can talk about something else. Ha! If I talk about Mr. Beast situation, not yet, but I'm planning on it. Oh man, it's going fast now. Yeah, the whole kindness wins thing. I love it. I want to co-opt that phrase and destroy it. I mean, about me, I really like it. Highly recommended. Local sandwich shop in, I think I'm in close to Brentwood. I am married. My wife is awesome. She's a cool lady. Being married is great. I feel like This entire person you see online only exists because of my wife's support. Without her, I wouldn't be nearly as cool as you guys think I am. That'd be funny if I tried to talk this sandwich shop into doing a TikTok right now. I've done that successfully. Usually I talk them into it, and then we set another date to do it. Yeah, tax write-off, man. This is how it's got to go. Should you become an orthodontist? Yes. Become an orthodontist. 100%. Do it. I've never been a wrestler. My main inspiration. Well, from a comedy perspective, I really like Anthony Jeselnik. If you ask me like who my inspiration is, I make more money in the dental field than influencer. This stuff doesn't pay all that well. I do it for fun. I like money, but in general, this is still, if I had to panic, I could support myself with this and my family, but I don't want to screw my family over that badly by abandoning my actual career. How did I become such a great scumbag dad? I don't think I'm that good a scumbag dad. I think the series was funny. I think I just wanted to highlight inconsistencies in nice guy dads. Coolest place I've been? You mean city or like individual spot? Because that's a tough question. Worst thing you can eat with braces? A lot of chips aren't good. Stay away from chips. I'm 6'3". Yeah, I've been to Thailand. My wife and I went a couple years ago. It was great. I was a huge fan. What are the upcoming awful trends I'm going to make fun of? I think I'm going to hit the give me a hug. Hey, I'm sad, give me a hug guy again. I've got something workshopped for Mr. Beast. I've got something workshopped for the guys who like take off their shoes and somebody comes up and is like, I'll buy you shoes. Like, I'm going to hit that. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock? I'm wearing a cool watch, yeah. Tough to see, but... A nice guy dad series, I'm not sure that would work for me. Right now, I'm trying to focus on the podcast. So if you guys are listening and you want to get some more in-depth comedy and insight, please listen to Late to the Party podcast. It's the podcast I do with Stanzi Potenza. Hey, Ben Liss, what's my favorite anime? Probably Attack on Titan. If I had to answer right now, I would say Attack on Titan because it's really good. It's fantastic. I'm a huge fan. I'm really glad about it. And I liked the ending. I will say I liked the ending. Some people have argued with me about that. They don't like the ending of Attack on Titan, and I did.
I can't see the 5 minutes.
Again, I did hear about the Mr. Beast situation. I'm going to weigh in on that soon, probably. Depending on who shows up today, I may make fun of it today. The sandwich is really good. Al Pastor Banh Mi, local sandwich shop, Los Angeles. Big fan. I gotta say, spending more time out here is crushingly expensive, but man, is the food good. Man, is the food good. I gotta say, it's like, I feel like I'm on vacation every day sometimes here. Sandwich looks like pickled carrots, daikon, jalapeno, banh mi, some sort of sauce that's really good. Cucumber, cilantro, French bread. It's really delicious. I'm gonna come back here. How much is it? Oh, it wasn't cheap. I think it was like $13. So when it comes to banh mi, usually that stuff is cheap on the more like standard, in the more standard Vietnamese restaurants. But this, I think after tax, was like $13. But worth it, please. I mean, really good. What made me choose the username? Well, I wanted to make fun of Korean Dad. So I did. So I created a violent drunk character who presents himself as kind but is anything but. And where would I be without this? Probably happy. Probably happy working regularly in Iowa, probably raising my kid in a much quieter environment. That's it. I don't think I'd be too different. You know, I've been failing at art my whole life, and up until TikTok, I had really just sort of settled down with it. Hi. I love Elden Ring, and I'm very sad. I'm very sad I haven't beaten it. I don't have time. I don't allow myself to play video games because I'm trying to grind too hard at this content game. I tell Hannah, I say, you'll know I'm content again when I pick Elden Ring back up. Because then I won't think, I'll be in a state where I can finally relax. I won't think that I'll be editing all the time or trying to build the channel or, you know, trying to network and do all this like sort of work related stuff. I think a lot of people don't get that my content is satire. I think a lot of people are very dumb. They aren't able to discern fiction from reality on the internet, even though I try to spell it out for them in extremely blunt terms. So, what am I supposed to do, right? I can't do Scumbag Dad. It's too offensive. I gotta hit. I'm just gonna hit other people for a while until, you know, time moves on. I do get recognized in public. I get recognized whenever I go to like any tourist attraction or party area. GX2 is a good person to work with. I like him. He's nice. YouTube versus TikTok? YouTube pays better. Oh, it was good. I think I'm going to ask them if they want to do a TikTok here once this live is over, because I just want an excuse to come back. My dream car? I don't really love cars that much. I like practical SUVs. That's it. I want whatever car will give me good autopilot. My favorite content creator to work with. My favorite content creator, probably Stanzi. Stanzi and I have the most similar sort of outlook on humor. Like her and I, you know, and you can watch us banter on the podcast, Late to the Party. Watch it now on Spotify, or you can see the video on her YouTube. So right now, minimize this screen, go to Spotify and search for Late to the Party. Do I pay collaborators? No. I'll usually, if it's a big group shot, I'll take people out to drinks and dinner. But in general, our collaborations are very like back and forth. Like they'll act in one of my videos, I'll act in one of theirs. You know, everybody who hangs with me always feels like it's a very like mutually beneficial time, because whenever I do the group shots, like it's almost like a little mini party. And what makes me very happy is when friends who I bring to group shots start hanging out without me, like independently, like they've just developed their own relationships. So for some reason, like, you know, I always make it worth their time at least. in terms of like fun, being featured in a video, helping out with their videos, and like drinks and lunch. But we don't have like a strict payment policy. There are people I've worked with who demand a certain amount of money, and sometimes I've paid it, but in general, that's not the vibe I'm going for. Has any other creator gotten annoyed by my satire? I mean, a lot of them have. Several of them have blocked me over time. One of them challenged me to a boxing match, which was so stupid. So yeah, I mean, I get under their skin quite a bit. There are people who I've made fun of who like me, who understand like the light parody, who understand that I'm doing a silly joke on their content, but there are other creators that I will hit with a lot more enthusiasm, and people can, I think through context clues you can tell who I'm hitting, lightly versus who I actually think are bad people. I think Audio Opera is great. I think he's in Canada. So we have a mutual friend, and I'm sure if he ever wound up in LA within the next year, I'm sure somebody would tell me. Thoughts on Mr. Beast? More research is necessary, but if it's true, it's not surprising. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have anything against Mr. Beast, but if he falls because of this Beast Game stuff, I think it would have a good domino effect on all these worthless kindness creators who pretend to be Mr. Beast, because that's always one of the big defenses that they'll use. Is I'll go after somebody, being disingenuous, and they'll say, well, what do you think about Mr. Beast? Do you hate him? Because they always I call it the Mr. Beast defense. And if he is, sort of outed as being a monster, then that will help stop that. You know what I mean? So, do I hope for it? I mean, not really, but at the same time, if Mr. Beast is, if things pan out poorly for him, I think in the long run it will make art and entertainment better. That's my opinion. There you go. The Beast games allegedly have multiple people being hospitalized due to lack of proper care. They're being underfed and mistreated and being offered hush money to not talk about what's happening on the games. So it seems like a very real life version of Squid Games, or at least that's what people are calling it. Is it true? It's tough to say. So we'll see how things, sort of shake out over the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of it. Do I get social anxiety filming in public? No, not at all. I don't care. I'm too old. The thing is that in order for me to make fun of the guys who I think are actual evil people, I need to film in public. I need to hit them in the same sort of environment that they work in. Otherwise it's not going to work. Like, making fun of them isn't going to work. Part of my content philosophy is I want to fool people who don't like my content into thinking it's real for the first 2 or 3 seconds, because I want to show them how easy it is to stage these. I want to show them how easy it is to trick the audience. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I've succeeded at that, but I feel like I've made a little bit of progress. I used to give lectures at a college in Iowa. It was pretty fun. Another guy and we studied trends in social media for a little while, and then I would give the lecture, and then I would lecture about a specific. I would lecture sort of about social media in general, but then I would always reserve the last 30 minutes of the lecture to film a video with the students. So that is one thing that when we set up the lectures, it was very important that I say, hey, we need to do a hands-on thing, because these college kids, they're not going to understand it unless they see the process start to finish. And so at the end of the lecture, I'd say, all right, who wants to be in a video? You guys are going to see how this conceptualized. You're going to see how through lying to the audience we can accomplish a certain thing. And then I think every time I worked with those college students, it yielded like a big hit. So, oh yeah, some people think it's inspirational stuff. I feel like anybody with a brain knows it. It's just, it's so tough to compete. Unfortunately, a lot of kids really don't understand the meaning of honesty, and they don't understand how evil these guys are behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like they're not good, and they laugh at the audience. They laugh at how easy the audience is to fool. They laugh as their donations come in. It's very comical, but I'm just one guy. You are actual homeless people. How can you get influencers to exploit you? I don't think you can. I think you need to contact them and set something up with their management. I'm actually not even. Am I even joking? I don't even think I'm joking. That might be your best bet. Is contact them, figure out which ones are in LA, and then, say like, hey, I'm homeless. I'd love to be in one of your videos. Like, you got to play it straight. You can't be like, oh, I want to do a post-ironic video. Like, if you are legit homeless, but here's the thing, you got to look it, right? Like, I've met homeless people who are just sort of like couch surfing or even like living in a van, and honestly, they look pretty good. Out here in LA, I meet all sorts, and some people. I met one guy who looked like a model, and he was living in his van, and so that makes him homeless. And we got into a conversation about like charity work, and I was like, yeah, you're way too good looking for them to feature you. They're looking for people who look bad. So I'm sorry. I would say reach out to one of these kindness guys and send a picture. And if you have the look they're looking for, then they'll go for it. But what I think a lot of people don't understand is that's what they're giving the money away for. They want the look, because that look is tough to replicate with an actor. It's so much cheaper to hire an authentic homeless person with a sandwich or even $500 than it is to hire an actor. And that look it's impossible to properly replicate. So they want somebody who looks rough. Alessandro, hey, thank you so much. It ain't much, but your content is a breath of fresh air. Well, I appreciate your contribution to my lunch. I have already completed the lunch. It was delicious. It is at local, you can't really read that too well, but local sandwich shop in Los Angeles. I hope to come back here at some point because it was quite good. And I am going to, once this live stream is over, I am going to ask them if one day I can film a video here. Can you do a video on foreigners trying other countries' food? I mean, where I'm like shocked by like Chinese food? I don't know. I think they're not my favorite. They're not my favorite at all. Do I think people do it on purpose? Are they consciously exploiting stupid people? I believe they are consciously exploiting stupid people. And when they read the comments of their fans defending them, they know I'm right. I know I'm right, but the fans can't figure it out. I think when these guys go home, they laugh like hell on how easy it is to make money on you. I will die on that hill. Doesn't matter what their forward-facing personalities are like, how softly they talk on camera, or how often they use the wisp sings. Doesn't matter. They know who they are, and that is why they get as frustrated with me as they do, is because they can't. They know it. They know it, and I can't. It's so hard to convince the audience that I'm right on this one. And my wife tells me, she's like, why are you so passionate about this? And I go, well, like I've studied ethics. I know social media very well. I've worked with disadvantaged populations throughout my whole career. I've literally done a video with a homeless guy who hated being on camera once he saw the result, even though he got paid for it. I mean, it's just such a crazy thing, and I find it to be so morally reprehensible because, it's the furthest thing from the intention. Like the intention is to make money, only make money. But the sort of image is that you're just a man of the people and you just love helping. And that's the farthest. Like, to me, that's the most evil thing you can do, is to be cruel and selfish and pretend you're nice. If you're going to be cruel and selfish, like, just be cruel and selfish. These alpha male business guys do it. They're like, I hate anybody who makes under $200,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like you can own up to it. I think honesty is a very valuable and underrated quality. And it's tough to get people to understand that when they're young. Are there any content creators that don't get enough credit? I think Wizards with Guns needs more followers. I think Andrew Russo needs more followers. There are a couple more that I'm not thinking of right now. Cheese Parade is really good. Whew. My plan with life before creating content was to, work for a couple more years and then retire in Iowa. That's it. I was on a pretty good clip. I think without social media getting in the way, I probably could have retired. Maybe like this year, to be honest. Yeah, Iowa's a cheap place to live. How do I feel about underappreciated animators? I don't know a lot of them, honestly. I feel like I don't know enough about animation to weigh in on that particular question. Do I make money from YouTube? I do. I could make a living off it, yeah. I could use the YouTube and TikTok and random sponsor money to live without a change in lifestyle right now. But I do worry that, this is a fickle business. One day it might just all go straight into the dirt. And if that happens, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to say to my son, hey, you're not going to have opportunities because Brad wanted to be, a jerk on the internet, right? What's the temperature? It's cool. It's like 70. If I'm wearing long sleeves and uncomfortable, it must be in the mid to high 70s, but it will get very hot. Texas from Iowa. Texas housing prices are really cheap, though. I don't know if you'll really gain that much of a benefit. But I will say, from what I know about Texas, is that a lot of the cheap houses are in very remote areas. So you're not going to be near a hub, you know what I mean? Like a big business hub. So, if you work from home, honestly, I feel like far out in a small Texas town versus Iowa is very similar. I always tell people if I had to panic, I would move closer to Vegas. Vegas is fun. It fries in the freaking summers, but Vegas has a lot of. I think the housing prices are still mildly reasonable there, but then you're also close to a tourist location where like lots of events go on and like lots of people will visit you. Okay. So you're 23 and you sleep in your car. I would. If you're seriously considering that, I would just contact the kindness influencers straight up. Talk to their management and send a picture. That's it. And then they'll probably have you sign an NDA that says you can't talk about how you knew each other beforehand or something, and then they'll do it. If they don't make you sign an NDA, shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know how it goes. I've never tried to contact them, so I don't really know what their process is. So I think I'm going to head out. I'm going to chat with this restaurant for a little bit and see if they will do a video. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. But a pleasure chatting with y'all. Today's a big day. Buy a watch, do a skit, film a podcast, pick up the baby, take the baby to a playground, go to a young gravy party. So I don't know. It's fun. It's fun, but I do wish I could sleep sometimes. So you're all lovely. Have a great day. Bye.